Hey you guys, so I am going to show you that calculating the beginning of the 70th week is very simple, and thus the rapture. And it's all strictly biblical, and it's honestly very, very simple. I'm going to walk you through this process and show you exactly how it's done. Daniel's 70 weeks are weeks of years. Weeks of years were established in Leviticus by a very strict way of starting and measuring. Leviticus 25:1, And the Lord spake unto Moses in Mount Sinai, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, When ye come into the land which I give you, then shall the land keep a Sabbath unto the Lord. The Sabbath is a period of 7. Most commonly, we understand the Sabbath as the 7th day. Sabbath of the land is 7 years. So this is the establishment of weeks of years. They're called sabbatical cycles. Daniel's weeks of years are periods of 7. So it says, when they come into the land, 6 years thou shalt sow thy field, and 6 years thou shalt prune thy vineyard and gather in the fruit thereof. But in the 7th year shall be a Sabbath of rest unto the land, a Sabbath for the Lord. Thou shalt neither sow thy field nor prune thy vineyard. Continuing on into verse 8, it says, Thou shalt number 7 Sabbaths of years unto thee. 7 times 7 years, the space of 7 Sabbaths of years shall be unto thee 49 years. Verse 10, And ye shall hallow the 50th year, and proclaim liberty throughout all the land unto the inhabitants thereof. It shall be a jubilee unto you. Ye shall return every man unto his possession. Ye shall return every man unto his family. Okay, so the weeks are periods of 7. They are to begin when Israel comes into the land. They did that in Joshua 4:19. The people came up out of the Jordan on the 10th day of the first month and encamped in Gilgal in the east border of Jericho. So, sabbatical cycles, weeks of years, every single one of them begin on Nisan 10, as was commanded by God in Leviticus to begin their start. So, Nisan 10. What year? Well, we're going to just use the commonly accepted date of 1406. So there's our starting point, Nisan 10. Every single one of the years that constitute the weeks of years and every single Jubilee is going to begin on Nisan 10. And then you just start counting. Now, the problem we get into is that people think you use 50. You count by 50s, and you don't because it's in the 50th year, right? How do you get to year 50? Year 1 plus 49, or minus 49 if you're counting back BC dates. You don't take year 1 and add or subtract 50 because that takes you to year 51. It says in the 50th year. I'm going to show you how this works. There is 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so there's one period of 7. And we're just going to use some formulas. We're going to subtract 7. Keep on counting. So there's our second period of 7. Ooh. Okay, sorry. I'm used to using a different keyboard and stuff's in the different spots. So sorry. Okay, so there's set year 1, year 2, Sabbath cycle. Year 1, year 2, year 3. Year 4, year 5, year 6, year 7. Okay, so we have 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49, and in the 50th year, you shall proclaim liberty throughout all your land. It's the Jubilee year. So as you can see, you don't take the beginning year and add or subtract 50 to get to the 50th year. You add or subtract 49 to get to year 50. As you can see this demonstrated down here. So we are just going to continue this pattern. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Because I want 10. Okay, so there's 10 Jubilee years. Well, we don't actually count this one as a Jubilee. It's just the beginning. But anyway, here's 10. 20. This, we're going to take this guy, minus 49. Hopefully those of you who understand formulas aren't going to have too much of an issue with this. Okay, so this is when we hit BC and AD, right here. So this is our last set of Jubilees in BC, and this negative number is going to be the first one in AD. However, you cannot just simply count a straight set of numbers. Why? Because there is no year 0. So we're going to delete all this and show you guys the transition from BC to AD. 34, 33, 32, 31, 30, 29, 28. How many years do I have there? Okay. Okay, so this is our transition. So we're counting 34 BC up to the first year in AD. But this is where we have to adjust this. 1 BC goes not to year 0, goes to 1 AD. And then we start counting up. And 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Year 50 would be 16 AD, not 15 AD. That is where we have to make an adjustment. So you have 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49, and year 50. And then we start counting up by 49 equals plus 49. And how many do we count? Obviously, that's too many. Since this is technically number 1, this would be number 70. So the beginning of the 70th week would be Nisan 10 in 2025 if 1406 is the year that they actually entered the Promised Land. There is some speculation about that. Could be 1405, could be 1407, 1408. Actually, it can't be 1405. Well, it could be, whatever. So you guys can do your own research as to what year that was, but that is how you calculate the Jubilee. Now, how do we know that it corresponds to the beginning of the 70th week? That information comes from Ezekiel 40. The measuring of the temple, the vision that Ezekiel received of the measuring of the temple was given on Nisan 10 in a Jubilee year, to tell you what is going to happen on Nisan 10 of the final Jubilee year. And then you also have the pinpointing of the anointing of the Most Holy to that same day, 7 years later, which is the final purpose for the 70 weeks. 70 weeks are determined upon thy people and upon thy holy city to finish the transgression, to make an end of sins, to make reconciliation for iniquity, to bring in everlasting righteousness, to seal up the vision and prophecy, and to anoint the Most Holy. That will occur on Nisan 10. 7 years after the temple is measured for, which will be in this year, 2025, assuming they enter the Promised Land in 1406. That is how you calculate it. And to be honest, it is not difficult. But if you have questions or comments, let me know. Thanks.